diamond. Real gem, she a diamond. Try it, you can't find it. Real gem, she a diamond. Diamond. Real gem, she a diamond. Try it, you can't find it.
I'm Mama Vibes. Hi guys, welcome to my channel, Cooking with Mama Vibes. Today we're going to be cooking jollof rice, and I have a special guest here with me.
Hello everybody, I'm Izzy Vibez, hence the name Mama Vibes. And yeah, this is a fun dish you can make with your family, friends, and with Easter coming around. So yeah, let's get to it.
Okay, so this is the reason why we're doing it. He loves jollof rice.
I do.
Jollof rice is from Africa. It's a very popular dish, everybody likes it. And it's a dish that for every occasion you must find jollof rice. If there's no jollof rice, there's no occasion.
Party. There's no occasion.
There we go. The first thing I want to do is to wash my chicken. This is optional. It's not everybody that does that, because if you don't wash your chicken and you still cook the chicken, it's still going to kill the bacteria in the chicken. However, I love to wash my chicken before using it. So I'm going to be using lemon as well, which I'm so used to. So I'll cut my lemon into two and squeeze the juice in. Because lemon is acidic, again, it's going to work well with the cleaning of the chicken. Alright. This is the way I was actually brought up, to clean the chicken with lemon and use some water. Okay. So now I'm going to start cleaning. Right, these are some of the herbs and spices I'm going to be using to season my chicken. Do you want to introduce them?
No worries. This is crushed garlic. This is curry powder. We have some onions. We have some chicken stock powder. We have thyme, and we have ground ginger.
Okay, I'm going to add some water because I want to use the chicken stock to actually make the jollof rice. Okay, so I have used 1,000 ml. Because I need that stock for my jollof rice. Alright. I'm going to put more actually. Okay, put more water. Now I'm going to add I've actually used about 4 cloves of garlic. Well, if you don't like garlic, that's up to you. It's optional. You don't have to use it. But I like garlic. Okay. And that's going to give it a nice smell. Very good aroma actually. And then I'm adding my onions. I love onions. Again, all these spices actually improves your immune system because it contains a lot of vitamin C, which is good, apart from the aroma that is going to improve. Okay, and I'm going to add 2 tablespoons of curry powder. I'm going to add a spoon of ginger, ground ginger powder, and then thyme. Again, I'll put 2 tablespoons thyme. Then the main ingredient, which is the chicken stock powder, I will use about 3 tablespoons, and then stir properly. I can smell that. The look itself is telling me that this is going to be a very good chicken stock for my jollof rice. Alright. So what I'm doing there, the kind of cooking method I'm using here is called boiling, because I'm actually boiling the chicken, which I'm still going to fry. Alright? Okay, that's good. Now I'm going to cover it and leave it to cook. I'll come back to that while I concentrate on other things. Okay? Now that the chicken is out of the way, I'm going to start with the jollof rice. But before I start cooking the rice, I have to sort out the sauce. So for the sauce, I'm going to use tomatoes. This is canned tomatoes actually. But because I have a lot of rice in here, I will be using 4 cans of tomatoes. And then use bell pepper. The bell pepper, this is a red bell pepper, which is going to add taste to it. And it will give it that rich red color, which is very good. Again, I have scotch bonnet. I'm only using 1 because this is very hot, and I know that the people that will be eating it, I don't want them sweating when they're eating it. So I'm going to be using scotch bonnet, just only 1. If you need more, you can go for it. If you think you need less of it, then you can probably cut it into 2. Okay, and I'll be using onions. The tomatoes is just to garnish it. Alright?
Say do what you want after crying. Is it fine or not? This holds more than the other blender did.
Hmm?
This holds more.
Okay. So put the tomatoes in. Once that's done, I will put my scotch bonnet. I'm using 1 whole 1. God help me, because that's very hot, like I said. And then chop up your onion. You don't have to dice it, just rather divide it into 2 and put it in. Again, onion is very good. Like I said, there's nothing I can do without onions. I use onions in it. There we go. And then my bell pepper. Okay, now I'm going to blend there. I want it to be very smooth. Now, remember, you won't need this much if you're not using this amount of rice. If you're only using probably about 250 grams of rice, you only need 1 can of tomatoes. That should do. Alright, and 1 bell pepper and your scotch bonnet. Okay.
Ready?
Okay, so what I'm going to do here, my chicken is ready. You know, I did say I was going to boil it. So this is ready. I'm just taking it out. So I have enough chicken stock now that I can use for my jollof rice. I'm going to show you this in a minute, so you can see what I'm doing properly. Right. That's the chicken. Lovely, delicious, tantalizing. Okay, I will take the chicken stock off the hob and then put my tomatoes, the blended tomatoes. I've actually added that into that saucepan. Okay, so that's the chicken. That's the chicken stock. Now I have my tomatoes, the one that I've just blended, in the saucepan, and I'm going to leave it there to cook for a while so that that can reduce the amount of water in the sauce. Alright, because I don't want it cooking like that. So once the water is dried up a little bit, then I can use that to fry my sauce for the jollof rice. It seems complicated, but it's not. It's a very simple thing. Especially if you don't want to use the chicken, if you're not using the chicken, you can just go straight to the jollof rice. Blend your pepper, leave it to dry up a little bit, so the water to dry up a little bit. So it's just the pepper in the saucepan, actually. And I'm going to cook that for a while. So while I'm cooking that, that will reduce the amount of water in the tomatoes. Okay? And I can then use that for my sauce. There we go. It's getting ready. While the tomato is getting ready, I want to fry the chicken. Alright? So I'm going to put some oil in the frying pan.
The camera's on.
Okay, what I've just done here, I've added some oil into the frying pan. And this is going to heat up a little bit. Once it's heated up, then I'll start frying my chicken. Okay? It's not the healthy way of doing it, because you can always put the chicken in the oven, and that will actually help to reduce the amount of fat. Okay? Because right now, as I'm frying it, the fat content is going to be very high. Considering the fact that I want to reduce the amount of fat that I'm using. Okay? So if I actually want to reduce the amount of fat, all I need to do is grill the chicken. But because I want to fry it, everyone that tasting this prefer the fried way of doing it. So I've boiled the chicken, so I'm going to fry it. Alright? So you have two options. You either fry it or you grill it. Okay? Jollof rice is a type of food that you can actually garnish with a lot of things. You can use salad, you can use eggs, you can use plantain, chicken, fish, anything that you can think of actually. And it's a dish that you can actually adapt to suit your own needs. Alright, if you're a vegetarian, you can always eat jollof rice, because all you need to do is just use vegetable oil to cook it. Alright, okay, so I'm going to be making dodo. Dodo is the name that they actually give it in Nigeria, Yoruba side, which is what they call it. So this plantain is very high in carbohydrate. Plantain, so it's very good. And again, if you're using the green plantain, that is even better, because it's very good for people with diabetes, the green one. But this one, as I'm using it, is the ripe one. And because it's the ripe one, it contains some sugar, natural sugar. Right? So you can decide to slice it like that. Different ways of making it. Okay, take off the top, take off the bottom. With this one, I'm going to cut this into like cube likes. Okay, so hold it down and cut it into two. like that. Now hold it down again, cut it, and then dice it. Alright, that's another way of doing it. I prefer that one actually, because you will feel as if you've got a lot on the plate and you haven't. And then lastly, I do a big cut. And then some people like the big cut. When you then hold it down. There we go. Now that you've got that, again, pour a little bit of salt, pinch of salt, just take a little bit. I know we're not supposed to take more than 6 grams of salt a day. That's the recommended daily amount for an adult. So I'm very mindful of that. Okay, my cooking oil is ready. I'm just going to put it in. And fry it. Plantain is another food that you can actually, when it's fried, you can eat it on its own if you want to. Or you can also eat it with fried egg. I do that. Or you can have it with stew. And as you can see, my tomatoes is still boiling there. I've actually reduced the heat so that it's simmering, just for it to reduce the amount of water in it. Okay. So a lot of I think I've had, some people call it plantain, some people call it plantain. I don't know the difference. To me, plantain is plantain. I call it plantain. What do you call it?
I call it plantain. I've got friends that call it plantain.
Yeah.
But they're wrong.
Okay. You're saying they're wrong. They could say you're wrong.
Nah, they're wrong.
Okay.
We're right.
You think we're right?
100%.
So it should be plantain. Alright. If you say so. I want to check my sauce. You can see there's still a lot of water in these tomatoes. So I would suggest, if you're doing this method, do it before you start cooking. If you know that, do it beforehand. Give you plenty of time to do it, so that would have been ready before you start prepping. So I'm going to use the same oil that I've used for the plantain for my chicken. And that's why I decided to fry the plantain first before putting in the chicken, because obviously the chicken is going to add a bit of water to the oil, and that will affect the texture of the plantain. So you'd rather do the plantain first before the chicken. Okay, once the plantain is gone golden brown, then you can remove it. Remove it from the oil. There we go. Can you see that? There we go.
That's it.
Yeah. So you can always cut this into different shapes. You can even use a pastry cutter and cut it into any shape that you like. Just to be creative and again, chicken is very high in protein. If you're eating chicken without the skin, it's more healthy. It's more healthy for you to eat the chicken without the skin than you eating it with the skin. And like I said, the method I've used there is frying, which is not the healthy choice. Alright? Because I can always put it in the oven and grill it. I can always grill this. Right, with the tomatoes you can see that it's beginning to dry up. It means that the water in it is reducing, and therefore the amount of the tomatoes has reduced. Alright? But it will come out thick. It will come out less savory actually, because tomato on its own, when you're using it like that, it's a bit more sharp. It's got this sharp taste, but I don't want that. I don't want that sharp taste. I want to be able to get this right. Alright?
So right now I'm washing the rice because we want to avoid it being too sticky, and also to reduce the amount of starch that we'll have in the food. So as you can see, it's cloudy white, and we want it clear. So we're going to wash it a few times. That's it.
Okay, the chicken is ready. It's got this golden color. I don't want it to be too long, otherwise it will become very crispy, which is not the best. That would have taken away the enjoyment of the chicken. It means that you're now struggling eating it. Okay, so we still want it to be a bit moist. Okay, now continue with the rest of the chicken.
As you can see, the water on top is now see-through and more clear, which shows that the starch is reduced and the rice is clean and ready to cook. Yeah? So
well done, that looks
we've
nice.
drained the water, so just stop. So we're frying the last of the chicken when it's a nice rich brown colour. Yeah, when there's a nice rich brown colour, we'll take it out and it'll be ready to serve with the rice.
Let's start making the jollof rice now. I'm going to use the heated oil, so I will add some onions to it. This is a nice smell. This is a nice stir. And I'm going to add, this is tomato paste. The onion is adding flavor, while the tomato paste is going to enrich the jollof rice with color, and it's going to give it a very nice taste. So, and I'm going to continue stirring it until it's loosened up. If you're here with me, you can actually smell it, isn't it?
Very true, very, very true.
Oh, very nice. Very nice. And like I said, sticking up, I'm going to add the tomatoes. You can see that the sauce is sticking up. Alright, I've more or less removed the water. So now I'm going to put the sauce. I'm frying all the sauce because I'm going to use some for the chicken. Okay, you have to be very careful at this stage. Put some water. Once it's doing that, it means it's very hot. Alright, so add some water to just calm it down. Very nice.
Cool, I'm going to stop again.
Yeah. And I'm going to stir this for a while before adding my chicken stock.
Cool.
Okay, I'm going to add the chicken stock. Very good. Okay, good. I'm going to cook this for a while.
Well, the chicken is fried perfectly golden brown, so we take it off and it's ready. Ready to be served, ready to be destroyed, ready to be eaten and tucked into. Thank you very much. My mum's already done the onion. Alright, so yeah, so we just need to slice a few tomatoes. One trick I use, because I've cut myself a while ago whilst slicing tomatoes, is I tip the knife in to make a entry point for the knife basically, and then I slice. So like this. Stop now. So as you can see, this is the end bit, which is usually hardest to cut. So you put the point there, you can slice it easier. And no cut fingers, and easy to do.
The rice in. This is sticking up. So now I'm going to put the rice in. Remember that this has been washed and we've removed the starch. Okay, so the rice is in. Likewise the seasoning. Now I can taste this. This is very nice. Okay. The next thing I'm going to do, I want to add just a little bit of the, remember I use the sauce, the chicken stock. Okay. Chicken stock. The purpose of the chicken stock actually is just to give it taste. It tastes better. But if you're a vegetarian, you will use vegetable stock. It's still going to do the same thing, add flavor. I'm going to cut a little bit of butter into it. Alright? That will give it more flavor. Remember, butter is from animals, so that's giving it more taste.
Yeah, I bet you didn't know this, yeah? So this is 50 grams of butter, which is what we're going to be using. So fun fact, you can usually find the measurement on the back of the butter packaging. So we'll be using 50 grams of butter.
So why did we use butter?
Just for taste.
Taste. We add more moisture, give it more taste, and it's good. So what we want to do now is to cover it up. Ideally, some people will cover it with foil paper and then put the lid on. I don't normally use foil paper, I just put the lid on because I believe it will still cook. Alright? Alright. Okay, so I'm gonna cover it. That's not the lid.
What? No, wait. Go.
Okay, I'm just gonna cover it now and then let it simmer. Put it on a low heat and that will cook it. Now guess what? The funny thing about jollof rice is some people believe that if it's not burnt and you don't have that smoky smell, that it doesn't taste nice. However, some people believe that it doesn't have to burn. I'm in between. I like both. If it's burnt, yes. If it's not, fine. In as much as it's very tasty, that's what I'm after. What about you?
It depends. Like that smoky taste is nice. So, but like when I'm making it, I do it on slow cook.
Yeah.
So I usually try not to burn it.
Okay.
But when I go to parties and stuff, I do want the smoke version.
And there is always an issue between people do compare Ghanaian jollof rice with Nigerian jollof rice. Yeah. So I feel some people are biased in the sense that you will have the Ghanaians will tell you that it's their own kind of jollof rice that is spectacular. Nigeria will say their own jollof rice is the best. And jollof rice as a whole actually originates from the Jollof people, the Wolof people, and they're from West Africa. And the Wolof people, when they come up with jollof rice, their own version of jollof rice is a little bit different. So everybody actually cooks it differently. Alright? Now I'm going to make some sauce with the chicken. The purpose of the sauce is just to add moisture to it so that it's not too dry and to add more flavor to it. Some people prefer chicken in sauce rather than dry chicken on its own. And so I've taken some sauce from the one that I did before, and I'm just going to add some onions to it, to the sauce. And the rest of the onion I will leave for the jollof rice. Okay. And I'm going to leave it to fry a little bit more before adding the chicken. I'm not going to use all the chicken because some people prefer fried chicken on its own.
Right now I'm just adding the chicken to the sauce. You know, give it some flavour, give it some taste. Hope that's not visible. So I'm going to keep some plain, like some just fried and some fried in the sauce because everyone has their own preference. Like sometimes I just like, man, as it comes really. I even prefer it boiled sometimes. So we'll leave that to soak in and take in the flavour for a while. So we're just going to add a few onions to it. So this is, so basically, this is an optional topping for your jollof rice. So we're just going to add a few slices of tomato, just to add some colour and flavour to the dish. Well, more like colour and texture to the dish.
Anywhere you wanna go, we can go. We can go. Yeah. Anything you want to, we can do. Anything you want say it to me. All in how we feel you, wait for me. For you.
Alright, so Mum, before we tuck into this dish or before we discuss about this dish,
Yeah.
I need you to hold your fork up. We're gonna get a thumbnail. Yeah, you ready? Say cheese.
Cheese. Happy Easter.
Happy Easter. There we go. So this is a very, very well presented dish. Jollof rice. We've got plantain and stewed chicken. We've also got plain fried chicken, but it's out of the shop, what you'd see in the other pictures. Do you want to discuss about your dish?
This is a typical party dish. When you go to an African party, you will find jollof rice. And this jollof rice has to be garnished. It's probably with dudu, which is a fried plantain. You have your chicken, you could have fried fish, you could have some salad with it, you could have, what else?
Salad, anything you want with it.
Boiled egg.
Boiled egg.
Think of anything. Some people have beans with it. Alright?
Should we round up the video for them?
Yes, we can.
Alright, so just before we tuck in, we've got one request. We'd like you to well, that's not one request, but we've got a few. Like, share, subscribe, and leave a positive comment on whatever dish you want next. We'll try and make that for you. Well, my mum will. I'm just here to support.
Yeah.
But see you all later.
Hi guys, thank you for watching my video. And for more videos like this, I would like you to subscribe, like and comment. Thank you.
Cheers!